Tony Hawkins has got a podcast. I hope he's better at this than he is washing the kit, because he was fucking useless.
Oh, let me just start by having a big bite of pizza while Tony tells you what we're going to talk about tonight.
We're going to talk about football.
Football, and pizza.
Football and pizza and beer.
I've got beer as well, Tony, as you can see on the call. Oh, dropped some pizza on my laptop.
By the way, I've made notes.
Well, actual notes?
I've made note. Well, last night I did anyway. The thing is, because I'm really, really lazy.
You're very lazy, man. I'll give you that, Tony.
Most of it is single words that are supposed to prompt me to remember what I wrote them down for.
Yeah, that's not going to work, mate.
So, yeah. But, yeah, I made notes. So, yeah, it's the first time in I've done that for at least a couple of years. Yeah. So, just thought I'd point that out, even if I don't know what they mean. They're actually there for. But
I do that all the time. They mean something when we're on the radio show, but come Wednesday night, like last week, I'd written penalty down. I had no idea what that meant.
No, I can't remember that at all. Penalty. Well, it was one last night.
Was
we
it?
Could talk about, I suppose. Yeah.
Let's start at the beginning with the old Rotherham.
Shall we start with Rotherham?
Was it good, Tony? Did you enjoy it when you were there?
Happen? Was it?
Well, here's what happened, Tony. My son had decided that he wanted some work done in his house, and he decided that the best time to have the aforementioned work done was 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. To which
Silly
I replied, I said to my wife, I said, that's not great, is it, 4 o'clock? I want to listen to the match. Anyway, I was listening to it, and Daniel Harvey gets sent off, and I said to my wife, this is shit, we might as well just go now. Absolutely useless, this. What a waste of an afternoon, I said. Well, we're round there, right, and I was doing the work, and I said to my lad, I said, check the scores, mate, see what the score is. And he came back and he goes, we're 2-1 up. And I genuinely goes, stop messing about, mate, what is the actual score? I genuinely did say that, you know. And then every 5 minutes after that, I'm going, check the score, mate, check the score. So, that's how my Saturday went, Tony. Working and checking the score. That's how it went Saturday afternoon. So, how did your Saturday afternoon go?
Mine was very good. I was sat in the living room.
Yeah.
With the radio on, in my recliner, thinking, this is alright, isn't it? Yes, so we did you check the MK Don's radio show email to see if we got any match reports?
And did we get any, Tony? Did we fuck? Not a one. Right, we've had loads of technical problems that I've had to cut that massive bit out, and now I've dropped some on the floor. I think it's a pizza, so not to worry.
Oh, no.
So it's a CD I'm using as a coaster, that's alright.
Actually, last night I was sat at the info point, as you do.
Oh, you do.
And
I seen you, Tony. We had a chat, remember?
You did, yeah. A girl walked past with, got herself a pizza from Papa John's round the corner there.
Oh, lovely.
And she tilted the box slightly. And
Tony,
her last bit of pizza fell out onto the floor.
Oh, Tony.
And I'm thinking, in that instant, time stood still, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I just thought, 5-second rule.
I was going to say.
And within a second, it was. She picked it up and put it in her mouth.
Well, I can't fault her, Tony. I'm not cheap thigh
Can
pizzas.
you imagine what's in that carpet on the concourse?
Oh, not on the carpet.
But she
was
it wasn't even a second thought from her. Bless her. She was picked up straight in her gob.
So, like I said before, our technical issues, Tony, no, I've had no emails with match reports, not one.
But fortunately, someone called Waldon from the forum, Waldon, Waldon, I don't know who that is.
Oh man, aware of his work, Tony.
He seems keen on the MKDSA though.
Oh right, he should join, shouldn't he? Yeah. I'm joined.
Actually, get yourself joined up, Waldon. Don't talk to the chairman, he's an idiot. He just don't make eye contact. Don't get into action with him at all. But do sign up. Yeah, do sign up.
Once again, after absolutely massive amounts of fucking about with technology, we're going to... Where were we, Tony? I can't remember now.
We were talking about the MKDSA chairman being an idiot.
Oh, yeah, idiot. I forgot that, yeah.
Yeah. No eye contact. Don't get into a conversation.
Don't look at him.
And this Waldon person has written a match report.
Ooh.
It's very much in the style of an amateur journalist. So,
right.
And it starts with the phrase, "I mused."
He did not start with that, did he, Tony?
He did. I shit you not.
Tony,
now,
honestly.
when I say I mused,
Yeah.
what immediately jumps into your head?
Don't write that for a start. That's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
yeah, don't start that. For me, David Brent. Brent mused. Have you watched The Office?
I've not watched The Office, Tony. It's not my kind of cup of tea, that.
I've watched a million times, and he does an interview with Inside Paper, a trade magazine.
Oh,
And
right.
he's trying to get the woman who's writing the article on him to actually write these words. Brent mused. So anyway, he started it. I mused a few weeks ago. I'm sorry, it's just funny.
Jesus. I wouldn't have written that, I'll be honest.
God. I mused a few weeks ago that this team just don't know when they're beaten, and boy, did they prove that against Rotherham.
Boy, oh boy, I would have
Ahead
written
of
there,
ourselves.
Tony. I would have done. I would have said, boy, oh
Yeah.
boy. I would have gone a bit further.
The team news saw the return of Harvey after suspension. Kasumu first in the team in the club video team news, then out of it in the team sheet news.
I'm hoping you're reading that like that and he's not written it like that.
I'm reading it word for word, right? I'll start again, right?
Yeah, go on.
The team news saw the return of Harvey after suspension. Kasumu first in the team in the club video team news, then out of it in the team sheet news, forcing the club to issue a clarification.
Well,
And worryingly, Wickham missing completely. Now, I have no idea what that last sentence meant.
I'll be honest with you,
think-
Tony. I have no idea what any of this means so far.
I'll read it to you once more, right?
Yeah, go on.
Kasumu first in the team in the club video team news, then out of it the team sheet news, forcing the club to issue a clarification.
Well,
And worryingly, Wickham missing completely. I haven't seen any news on the big striker, so I'm hoping he was just unwell rather than injured, but you may know better. I have to say, I didn't fear anyone on the road. We are simply a formidable outfit that knows and shows no fear.
Formidable
And if I
too.
was any team in League One currently, I would fear the worst, and today's result will only boost the belief of this team and take it to even greater heights. The early signs were good. Parrott was let in by Twine during the opening salvos. I mean,
salvos, Tony. I mean,
salvos,
mate, honestly.
jeez. He's got the whole fucking
It's good.
book here, hasn't he?
He's done well.
And had the time and space to break his lean spell, but was thwarted by the impressive Vickers,
Oh.
who had only conceded 19 goals ahead of today's game.
That's a lot.
As the clock ticked by, I must say that I thought we looked comfortable. Cumming had to pull off a one-handed save to keep it even, and it won't show up in the highlights reel at the end of the season, and he made it look like a fairly regulation save, but even so, it was a decent stop. I remember that. It was a header directly at him. It was actually a brilliant save. He stuck his hand up and managed to take the sting out of it as well, so it didn't drop to anyone. But we played our usual stuff at the back, which seemed to excite the Millers fans, but only really gave false hope to the chasing strikers. I put hope in there because what it actually says is, seemed to excite the Millers fans, but only really gave false to the chasing strikers. And then disaster struck as Harvey was given his marching orders for a nudge in the back on Ogbini, who didn't need much persuasion to hit the deck when he felt contact. It was definitely a penalty. It was 100% a penalty, whether or not it was a light touch or whatever, but Daniel Harvey had his hand over his shoulder. At that point, it was a foul and therefore a penalty. Clear goal scoring opportunity. He had no choice, the ref, but to send him off. The ref pointed to the spot and, to my surprise, flashed Harvey the red as well for good measure, which I have to say confused me. Double jeopardy, anyone? I don't know, and I won't pretend to know either. I've just explained that anyway. But if someone wants to explain the final detail, which I just did, knock yourself out. You can also enlighten us on the period of the ban as well. 2 games, I think, because it's his first red, is it? Did he get sent off, or was it accumulation of yellow cards? It was an accumulation, wasn't it?
Was it? I think he flashed a straight red, the fella, didn't he?
Did he? Oh, either way. Well, no, on Saturday, yes, he did, yeah. But
yeah.
before that, this suspension previously was...
Oh, yeah, that was an accumulation, wasn't it?
Yeah. Waldon's guess is that it's one game, but I'm willing to be educated. Anyway, the spot kick was converted by Bar Laser, which is a great name, and the Dons fans were treated to some animated facial expressions by the same player just to rub it in.
I did see that.
We were for a while on the ropes. The Millers had a head of steam and were keen to exploit a numerical position, but despite searching for what possibly could have been a killer blow, we held firm and dealt with anything that came our way. How much longer does this go on for?
It's a long thing, this. I've got a short one from someone else.
I confess at half time I did have this goes on. I'm scrolling. I'm going to go to the end.
Get to the end, Tony. Yeah, go on.
Get to the end. And it says, see you Tuesday night. Well done. Right, what's next?
I've got one here from Dan, ex of this parish, which is a lot shorter than what you've just read. Shall I read it out?
Dippy Don. Yeah, got it.
He reckons Troy should have scored in the first minute, and a bit like against Bolton, he probably would have with some confidence. But then Rotherham grew into the game a bit more and threatened. Full stop. Smith should have scored a header before the penalty. Definitely a penalty, but the red card depends on if you think Harvey went for the ball or not, Dan reckons.
He didn't, because he was behind the man, so he couldn't possibly go for the ball.
After that, we held firm and got to half-time. Someone I was with was adamant that he thought we'd get something from the second half, and he was right.
He was also an idiot at half-time, because no one thought that.
Well, I'm putting some emphasis. I'm making it more dramatic tone, I'm putting the emphasis on it, I'm just... Because it's just a bit boring reading stuff out in it, so I thought I'd try and act it out.
We should have some sort of incidental music, shouldn't we?
Music. I didn't think of putting music behind it. I'll see if I can do that.
Get a bed in there somewhere.
Kasumu changed the game and was quite literally everywhere, and his substitution actually stopped Coventry from playing poorly too. Coventry was excellent in the second half, full stop. Initially I thought...
This always confuses me. What?
What's up?
He needs to change his name, because every time someone says it, I'm thinking, we're not playing Coventry.
I know, he does need to change his name.
We'll call him Covalier.
Right, anyway, back to what your man says. Excuse me. Initially, Dan thought both our goals were offside, but looking back, they weren't. The referee was simply atrocious, but he favoured a team each per half, and thankfully it was us in the second half. Special mention to Darling, O'Hora and Parrott, who Dan thinks were standouts in the first half for us. But the second half, every single one of them were phenomenal. That is how to write a match report. It's short, Tony, it's to the point, and there's no musing involved in it.
There's not a single muse in there.
There was no muse in it.
Not a single muse, nor a salvo.
No.
Well, thank you to you both.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
I think I only read 2 paragraphs of the 18-paragraph report from Waldon, but thank you anyway for the contribution, and to Dippy Don as well for that. Yeah, we wouldn't normally ask for them because we ourselves get to watch 34 seconds of highlights, and we can glean everything we need to know from those 34 seconds. But we thought we'd get the view of some people who were there, as this season I've not done many away games, and I hope to change that next season, but I said that for this season, which is a bit of a pain in the arse when you do a podcast for a football club.
That is about when one of the things
watch,
you're actually talking about is something you've not seen, but well, that's what it is. Other podcasts where people have actually seen the game are available. Listen to that instead.
Yeah, you could. What do you want to do? Talk to someone who's actually there, or
getting back to the actual thing? That really is. If we'd gone there and we'd beaten them with 11 men, you'd be thinking, "Well, that's pretty good."
Well, yeah, you would be absolutely delighted.
You would
to
be
have won there, full stop.
Yeah.
Even if they'd have gone down to 10 men, you'd be thinking to yourself, well, we might have a chance here.
I know, it's amazing,
It's just odd that I don't know. The reasons to be optimistic keep building and building and building.
I mean, their fans, Tony, are absolutely devastated. They think that's it, that they've had it, haven't they?
Well, I was reading the view from the other side, and
brilliant this week, isn't it? Fantastic.
Yeah, the latter comments are basically, that's it, we've done, we've capitulated. I saw the word capitulate more than once as well.
There was one guy there, I know he was doing it for a wind-up, because I was reading their forum before anyone put that up, and that guy that said that Milton Keynes, I'm paraphrasing, but he said along the lines of Milton Keynes are a brilliant team and they'll definitely be mid-table, championship next year or something. You just think,
well, I thought,
such a fucking wind-up,
we've been there, and they know more than anybody about getting promotion from League One to the Championship.
To stay up, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So, it was an extraordinarily good result.
It really was.
I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that has to be definitely top 5 that I can remember best results.
The brilliant thing about that day for me, apart from the fact that I didn't listen, was that the fella that was shushing the crowd, apparently he was the guy that gave the ball away for the second goal.
Was he?
Yeah. It was absolutely hilarious. So yeah, fuck him. I've mused over that, Tony, for a little while. I really did.
Yeah. We're talking about the goals. The second, where Kasumu jumped in, wasn't it? Was that the one where Kasumu jumped in?
I can't remember, mate.
I'm trying to think now. Hold on, I'm going to have a quick look because this is in relation to my notes.
Oh, notes.
Anyway, because it's something that I've noticed over recent weeks. Anyway, there's a distinct rise in the number of second balls that we win. I don't know if this is just because we've got players in the right place at the right time all the time, but we always invariably pick up that second ball when it breaks, particularly in the midfield, and then we immediately work really well with it. We work quickly with it, and once we've got the ball back, again, I've said it, that it must be an absolute nightmare to play against us when we've got the ball. Because
when we've got the ball, I was watching.
If you look at the stats for the Rotherham game, it was very much. It was almost like the Rotherham stats were pretty much what you expect from us. They had 57 or 59% possession. Yeah. They had 14 shots, but only 4 on target. And we had 3.
Right.
But, they should have, with those statistics, they should have won. I was just looking at the Daniel Harvey penalty. He made no attempt to play the ball at all.
That's a bit reckless, really. That's very stupid of him, to be quite honest.
Well, you can't really take one for the team in that position because you're not going to get a yellow, you're going to get a red, and you give away a penalty. It's a difficult decision to make.
Rush of blood to the head, that boy, I think, John.
Yeah, I think it's got to do something, but what do? Do you just let the bloke run through unchallenged and hope that the keeper can save it? I suppose that's one way.
That's his job, isn't it?
As a defender, you've got to make that decision in seconds flat.
Second, yeah.
Yeah, so I have started texting Louis again. I've now decided that it's possible, as highly unlikely as it seems, it is possible that if I do actually text him, it won't jinx us. So I'm going for it. I just said, "Fuck me, that was terrifying, crazy stuff," and he said yes. But we felt pretty comfortable. I mentioned the assist he got for the first goal, and he says needed to do something as I was pony first half. He didn't think he had a good first half himself. So so the second goal was lad lost it in the midfield to Cass. I don't know if it was the same bloke. I can't tell from it, but
was.
I don't know what the chap was trying to do actually. He's taking it under control, and then I think he's tried to play it backwards again and just fallen over, and then Cass has come in and stick the ball in front of him to run on one-on-one with the keeper, and he's flawless. His ball control outside those areas isn't brilliant, but if he's scoring those goals, you can't complain.
Brilliant, really.
So what do you think in terms of overall performance? Do you think that's up there with the best you've, not seen, but the best that we've produced in the context of this season, the context of where Rotherham are? In
context with this season, I reckon that's the best performance. It's
crazy.
That is the most important result, if you ask me. I've said it constantly, and I've already written that game off that we weren't going to get anything out of that. So to get 3 points in the manner we did, I mean, can you imagine what it would have been like being in those stands? It must have been fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
It must have been just, oh, God, it would have been brilliant, wasn't it? I spoke to Franco last night. Remember him from the past? You probably don't remember.
Franco.
Yeah, big fella, massively overweight he is. You know,
the huge fat Italian.
Yeah, that's it,
Yeah.
Well, I spoke to him last night. He was slumming it for a little while. He was in Lewington's last night. And and he was there, and he reckoned that when that second...
he wearing a disguise? So
he was, yeah. He had a big moustache and a big hat on. a big false nose and glasses. I was talking to him.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah. I mean, no, he didn't have a disguise on, that's just who he is. Anyway, I was talking to him and he says when that second goal went in and they were jumping up and down, you could actually feel the stand moving up and down, you know. So it must have just been an unbelievable experience to be there. It would have been fantastic. I mean, that time we went there in the opening day of the championship, that was pretty good, wasn't it? But I mean, I think last night, that's a bigger result last night, it really is. It
was crazy. I mean, it was a result that I thought was never going to happen.
No, never.
And if you'd have said to me 2-1, I'd have said, we must have really, really battled that out.
But we didn't.
But if you'd have said with 10 men, I said, no, you're making it up now. Stop it. You're just making it up. But I don't think. Oh God, it is terrifying.
It's terrifying because I reckon, like Wigan and Rotherham are now thinking, oh no, this is not good. These blokes are absolutely on fire now. Which is good psychologically for us. Sorry, that pizza's come back on me. It's a good psychological thing to have behind you, you know. I mean, you don't want to go all like, wanky, oh, it's this and it's that. They're thinking, but they are definitely looking over their shoulders and thinking, oh, that's the last thing we need, you know. I mean, Wigan must be thinking to themselves, really don't want to go there on Saturday, if they're playing the way they are. Really don't. Sorry.
Get back.
Yeah, sorry, this is a technological nightmare, this. Sorry. Yeah, what I was saying, Wigan must be just thinking to themselves, coming to Milton Keynes on Saturday is the last thing they need, it really is.
Well, it does feel like now we are the team that no one wants to play. No. And I think it was, someone said that, and you're thinking, I read in the View from the Other Side, one of the Cheltenham fans, that we've taken 26 points from the last 30.
Well, that's pretty
which
good,
I don't think is right, because we've lost to Doncaster and we drawn twice. So I don't know how many it is, but we've definitely won 5 in a row. I know that much. And it must be, I mean, Wigan will be slightly different, I suppose, because they probably know how good they are, obviously, but
we don't know what it is. We better hurry up and go on. Let's move on to Cheltenham before my computer just fucking gives us a go stop. That was one of the most pleasing aspects of that game was that we actually rested players last night, didn't we?
Twine was on the bench.
Yeah.
What I found interesting was...
Right, once again, sorry about that, another absolute technical nightmare. It's a good job I didn't buy...
So we start over with Cheltenham.
Sorry. We were talking about Cheltenham.
A few changes, Twine on the bench, notably. There was... KKH played left again in the absence of... You've gone again, haven't you?
No, I'm still here. Sorry, I can hear you fine, mate. Sorry, I'm just having a drink of beer.
KKH playing in front of Louis.
Yeah.
Corbeanu spent the entire time on the right-hand side.
He did. I did notice that, yes.
Yeah. And then it was actually quite amusing because, as you know, I sit behind the bench and they're generally not a loud bunch. So... you don't really get to hear a lot of shouting and screaming from the bench, but when Tenai Watson came off, we went to a back 4, and they kept shouting. Theo, play the 4, play the 4. So he was put in at right back, but it was like it reminded me of Daniel Powell back in the day when you're trying to get Daniel Powell to stay in a position and not get drawn to the ball.
Yeah, that's
but he just couldn't. He could not help himself, and they were shouting at him the whole time. But I think it's a little bit unfair. I mean, I'm not going to argue the tactical issues here at all, because whatever he's doing absolutely right. But I just thought, if you're going to go to a back 4. Would you not put KKH at right back and Corbeanu on the left in front of Louis? But Theo did a decent job, albeit that he had to kick. I mean, O'Hara was screaming at him half the time.
Yeah, I thought last night he was a little bit not greedy. I think selfish might be a better way of saying it. He was obviously the fact that he's not sort of started. I think that
I think a lot of the time
he
was immediately set upon by three players.
He was. I mean, they'd obviously thought to themselves, "Oh, this guy's he's going to be doing all that cutting in and all that business." They'd obviously targeted him because he was fined. I mean, he got past a couple of times, didn't he? Especially when he was attacking the cowshed. When he was attacking, obviously you're noticing it more because it was right in front of you. But I think in the second half he certainly was better than he was earlier on in the match.
I think though what was missing was the crossing. Because he's so left-footed,
the
one right-footed cross he did put in went out for a throw on the other side of the pitch. So clearly it's not his strong point. He does like to, and he just refuses to use his right foot. Which again, I found a little bit odd that he didn't swap every now and again with KKH. But I may be a little bit controversial here, but I thought KKH didn't have a particularly good game, and that was
really. I'm surprised. I thought he was good last night.
Nah,
there was one point last night, my lad who was sat beside me said, "Is he playing centre forward? Because he just seemed to be right up at the, right in the middle of the."
He was there, but he kept giving the ball away, particularly in the first half. And again, it's the first time I've really seen Liam Manning lose his.
Oh, you've got a different perspective, haven't you? Just sat right behind him, I suppose. I mean,
yeah, but he was saying no,
oh,
because he knew what was going to happen, and he was treading on the ball and he was losing the ball, and I thought he was going to get taken off. I still think had Tenai Watson not gone off, I think he would have been subbed. Yeah, but let's go back to the game itself and the result. It does again differing opinions from visiting fans, but that's as comfortable as it gets, isn't it? Really,
I did read the old thing on the concrete roundabout, and one of their guys said that 3-1 flattered us. I thought, mate, I don't know where you were last night, but it certainly wasn't watching that because, I mean, we barely, I don't know, got into second gear to use a football cliche, did we? I've been trying, mate, to think of a cliche. Yeah, that's not that one.
A cliche-free way of saying that, but there really is the best way. We didn't get out of second gear. We didn't have to. Cheltenham weren't a bad team, and they certainly didn't come here and put 10 men behind the ball. They looked.
They kind of went for it, I guess.
There was a good period in the second half, 2015.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
They looked dangerous. And looking at the highlights, they did have a few chances. Probably, I think, more than Rotherham, actually.
They had a goal, but what they have to appreciate is that, we had some players out, and I think we were, this Saturday's more important than playing them on a Tuesday night, but yet we still beat them 3-1. I was really irritated when that goal went in at the end. I really was. It really kind of ruined my night. Really, really did.
If there's one thing I can definitely 100% confirm from being in that changing room is that if there is one thing when you're winning that comfortably, if you can, all the missed chances you like in the world, you'll forgive, but letting in a goal that late in the game at 3-0 up, and it was a free header as well. David Kasumu and I think it was O'Hara basically marking the same man and the bloke behind. It was a well placed header. Fair to him, it was a decent header, but we didn't really need to put a huge amount of effort into that to win. But because of that, this is why I made notes, because I thought. Well,
you're not forgotten about your notes. Yeah, go on.
This is going one way. So I've already done the Watson off, going to a back four and Corbin at right back. I've done that. I put risky left-footed, and I realise what that means now is because he's completely left-footed. They had a go early second half, which I've pretty much done all these, haven't I? Actually, the cheer for Parrott, because I think.
Oh, when he got that first goal.
Yeah, did you know in the cowshed that it was him that had scored?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, I got a feeling that a few people didn't realise, but it was. I mean, the cheer for the goal was a cheer for the goal.
But when it
was announced that it was Parrott,
mate.
The cheer was even louder.
Brilliant, wasn't it? It really was.
Cheer for the goal.
Really, it was fantastic. That when it really was. I was chuffed to bits for him, but then to get because he's been playing really well, and he seems like we said last week, a bit hacked off that he's not scored. But then when he gets one, then he gets another one. You think, oh, well done, mate. He was.
Well, that's the thing. And if you watch the replay of his goal, when he heads it, it's almost as if he can see it's going in, but it's almost as if he's expected this massive gust of wind to blow it away from the goal, or it's the way that his luck's been going. And then Mo Isa's goal, I mean, the ball to Isa was just ridiculous. I mean, that's travelled 60, 70 yards, that ball.
I mean, that's his game, isn't it? We're now playing to the guy's strength. There was a lot of people at the weekend going, oh, because everyone was kind of slagging him off. When you think, we were slagging him off earlier on, and we were criticising him because he wasn't good. He's good now. We're not. You can't go back.
He's good when he's got the ball and he's going at the keeper. Yes. I mean, if you look at the goal at Rotherham and you look at the goal last night, both of those goals were not just. I mean, the takedown from a 70-yard ball, ridiculous,
unbelievable.
And then the first time, but each of those goals, Rotherham and last night, both of them in the bottom corner, so precise in the to make sure that the keeper couldn't get anywhere near it. And I just, he has his flaws. He has his. As I say, his touch sometimes isn't the best, but I've run out of notes now. The only one I did have that I wanted to...
Your notes are rubbish, Chief, I'll be honest. I was expecting a lot more notes than that, mate. They're useless.
Well, I thought it was a lot, but clearly it wasn't. I wanted to give a mention because I've meaning to do it for weeks, but I've completely forgotten.
Go on.
And again, this is with the benefit of listening on the radio. Our fans, particularly at away games, most recently, and I'm not just talking about Rotherham and a couple of others, I'm talking throughout the course of this season, our away fans have been immense.
You can always hear them, Tony, like always. It doesn't matter where they are, they can always be heard. I don't know why that is, if I don't know. I mean, I know they weren't particularly near the whatever they do, the commentary on Saturday. Well, they definitely weren't, but you could hear them clear as day when the bit I heard, so they're always loud wherever you go. Always.
Yeah, they've been brilliant, and I am their biggest critic.
Yeah, I mean, just like you say, it wasn't a great game, was it? But to win 3-1, just what can you say? Just flying at the minute, aren't we?
It's another +2 in the old goal difference as well.
That's what I was saying to my wife tonight. We're coming back for feeding the horses, and she's going on about it, and I goes, "Oh, it was just annoying, we let a goal." And she goes, "Oh, you still won." I said, "Yeah, but it could have been, goal difference. You never know. I don't think it'll make a big difference this season, but you never know, do you? Just irritating to let one in. It didn't ruin it for me. I just thought, I don't want to see them scoring a goal, do you? Come on." What's all this about scoring goals business? But still won. Right, sorry, we're going to have to wind this up because there's been absolute technological nightmares tonight. I don't know what it is, but next week we're going to try another thing. This Skype is a load of crap, Tony, isn't it? What is it, Tony?
It's a load of crap.
A load of crap. I have had a tweet here that I don't really know what it means, but I'm going to read it out. It's from Fraser Wiley. And old Fraser has said, "Have you noticed that knee... look, hand bandage being worn? First Wazza and now Louis. Knee with the N, with the little thing above it, and then 2 E's. I don't know what that is. What is that?"
Autocorrect.
Hand bandage. New look, do you think that means? I don't know what that is.
It could be. It's quite a popular thing with footballers. The old, not necessarily the hand bandage, but strapping around their wrists. They like that sort of stuff. That looked really painful actually, because Louis was carrying that for a good few minutes where you could see he was very uncomfortable. And
you did think to yourself, if he's gone down, then there is something wrong with him, isn't it? Because that wasn't a Louis, was it? That was like...
definitely not. Yeah. Oh, actually, do you remember their players, Louis?
Yeah, I do remember it, yes.
Oh, hilarious, right in front of the cowshed. I think I actually heard the referee laugh at that one. But yeah, even so, any time a player goes
was
down...
Was that the time when he, just... like he waved the guy up? Is that when it was?
Yeah. That was another one.
Oh right.
That was the one where, but that one there where he told him to get up, he actually swung a punch at Kasumu,
He did. I forgot about that. The little,
as he was falling back, if he hadn't been falling backwards, he would have actually given him a full on. God,
I forgot all about that.
Punch.
Yeah, that was a bit crap.
I don't know how the fourth official missed that.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. It was
right in front of him.
I mean, Dave didn't take it lying down, did he? Not have a wee go back?
No, Dave gave him a bit of a shove, but the fella, as he was going backwards, actually took a swing at him, which I thought was brilliant. But the only. My mum would, any time a player goes down, whether it's a opposing player or a Don's player, get up, there's nothing wrong with you. But when Louis went down and stayed down, she was like, oh, must be serious.
Yeah, must be someone.
He never goes down.
Never, no.
So, I think summarising last night's performance, third gear was not required.
Not required for that game, no.
It's another 3 points. There's 5 wins in a row. We're third in the table, and it's terrifying.
I've had so much else going on in my life at the minute that I've not really, everyone last night was going on about it, and I couldn't really engage with it. But I think the closer we get to Saturday, that's when it'll start sinking in for me, because Saturday's a mass. I think Saturday's a bigger game than the Rotherham game, don't you think?
Well, it is now.
Yeah, now it is, yeah.
Because this is the reality is there that we could actually do this, and even I'm beginning to believe it.
Oh, don't get too excited.
When you look at the table, and we were thinking, no more than 5 games ago, we were thinking, stay in the playoffs. We're now level on points with Wigan in second place, albeit they.
Many games have they got? 3.
And Rotherham have got a game in hand on us, and Wigan have got 3.
3, yeah. Still 3, that's a nuisance, isn't it?
Is that me? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on tonight.
It sounded like there was a helicopter.
There is a helicopter right outside the window, yeah.
All right, so when you can't hear me...
Yeah, you can hear me. I'm just going to stop this now.
We've won 5 in a row. We're 7 points ahead of Oxford, who've played the same amount of games. We are 9...
No, this isn't working. Right, sorry. As soon as he comes back, I'm going to stop it now because this is just not working tonight. Sorry, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Fucking nightmare tonight, mate, honestly.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
Strange.
I've got full internet. I've just checked. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I turned mine on and off again, just in case.
I wonder if it's that Vladimir Putin messing about with the internet and doing everything else he's doing. I forget where we were now. Where were we? No idea.
We were talking about Wigan. That beating Wigan would be bigger than beating Rotherham.
Yes, Rotherham. Yes, sorry about that. It would be, yeah.
But let's be honest. If we'd lost to Rotherham, then we would be definitely in a different frame of mind. And beating Wigan, I mean, the team to catch for us is Wigan, but by beating Rotherham and winning last night, of course, has put us level on points with them, which is. It was unthinkable not that long ago, wasn't it, really?
How did they get on last night with that bloody Johnson's
They lost on penalties.
Does that go straight to penalties, not extra time?
Yeah, I think that it's a one-legged game, I believe.
Right, okay.
That's at that stage, yeah. And they lost 8-7 or something like that, I think it was, on penalties, yeah. Let's have a quick look.
I was hoping it had gone to extra time, but I'm not sure
I don't know if there is extra time or not, but penalties, and they won 7-6 on penalties at Sutton United, and let's say there wasn't any extra time, they'd still be knackered, wouldn't they?
Yeah, hopefully.
Emotionally as well, so that could work for us or against us, really.
Clinging at straws there, Tony, to be quite honest, clutching at them even, so...
Well, we are looking for any little thing, aren't we, really, that can help us. But what we tend to forget is that it's nothing to do with us. It's what the players do.
It is, yeah. I mean,
and what they're thinking. And I am now very much back to the stage where I'm thinking, as we did in 2015, that, maybe this is going to happen. Maybe...
God, I hope so.
Maybe we are that good and they are that sort of squad, and they're those sort of players that can. Nothing seems to faze them. And we've sat here less than less than 2 seasons ago, 2 full seasons, and we've seen MK Don's teams fall apart in front of our eyes.
Yeah. No,
I remember that Lincoln game where they beat us 4-1, was it? Or something like that. We literally watched them fall apart in front of our eyes, didn't we? We were seeing goals going in after 3 minutes, week after week.
Yeah, every week last season, early goal. No, we've got this. It's strange.
So I'll ask you again the same question I've been asking you for the last few weeks. I'm ready.
Go on.
What is he doing right?
It's a difficult. I think the only thing I can think is that it's youth, and the fact that they're young and they've got no fear. That's the only, that. If I had to think, it's difficult to say what he's doing right because, I don't know, but one of the hypotheses you could have is that they're really young and that they just go for it kind of thing, or the fact that he's a really good coach, he must be, I guess.
Or maybe if they step back and thought to themselves, what are we doing here? They might panic.
Don't think about stuff, because I've done something like last week that I was saying to someone today, if I had a thought about doing that, I wouldn't have done it. The fact that I've done it really quickly, what I've done is I've quit my job and I've got another one that happened in the space of like 2 days. And I'm thinking, if I had the time to sit down and think about that, there's no way I would have done that. Not at my age. And maybe it's the same thing with them in reverse, that they're young and that, they just don't think about it, for a better way of putting it, so could be that, couldn't it? That they're just gung-ho and they're just going for it flat out.
But it's nice to see that the players and the fans are all on the same page when it comes to the togetherness. And I'm not generally one that the players tend to be I don't really care what you think, or you can love us, you can hate us, but there's definitely seems to be a connection between the fans and the players this season.
There seems to be, especially with Daniel Harvey and Darling. They seem quite engaged, don't they, with the fans,
Yeah.
On social media. So, Daniel Harvey especially, just a pity that he keeps getting fucking suspended or sent off. It's a bit of shit, really.
Yeah, well, I don't know any, other than Louis, obviously. I don't know any of the players. No. I don't know any of the coaching staff other than Tom Bromley and Adam Ross. But it definitely seems that there is very much. But one thing I have noticed actually is that the coaching staff, other than Tom Bromley and Adam, who spend a lot of time with the players. So, do you remember the in the interview with Simon Crampton?
Yeah,
it's very difficult not to become close to the players when you're in that when you're working in that environment,
in that bubble, all the time.
But it definitely seems to be a separation between the coaching staff, the management, and the players.
I want that in a team, to be quite honest. That's what I want. I don't want them to be all like pals,
Yeah.
I want
not in a them and us sort of way, but that natural respect that comes with,
that's what it is. It's just having respect, isn't it? That's what what it is,
When you think someone like Louis, who is the same age effectively as Liam Manning, he sees him as a very good coach, a very good, we can say manager, because even though he's a head coach, he does manage as well. But we're just repeating ourselves, aren't we? And I
don't know what else to say.
My optimism is growing.
I'm pleased to hear it, because last week you were thinking that we were never going to win another game. And we've won 2.
Well, I have been saying, again, it's just to soften the blow when it does happen. But I really, it does feel like 2015 all over again, where we're indestructible. We're unbeatable.
So on that notion, then, Tony, what do you think will happen Saturday?
I have no idea. I genuinely...
No, I don't. This is one game where I can't...
I'm giving up. I'm going back to my 2-0s. Can I go back to my 2-0s?
Yeah,
I'm breaking all my rules of... all my superstition rules here now.
I think Wigan will score. That's my only caveat with Saturday. I think they will score. But, it's more hope than expectation that we'll win. But I'd already written last Saturday off, and look how that went. So I'm just... I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say, to be quite honest, at the minute.
Well, there's 9 games to go for us anyway. We've got 9 games. which is a possible 27 points. I don't think it's possible to get 27 points from those games. Even if we beat Wigan on Saturday, I don't think it's possible for us to take 4 points from every game till the end of the season. But if we did, that would give us 89 points, I believe. Hold on, no, that's not right, is it?
What are we on at the minute? 70 something.
72. So
Right.
we'd have 99 points.
Okay.
99 points, which would definitely get us promoted. I mean, we'd go up as champions, I'm sure, if we got 99 points. But it's not really what we do because we're the team in third place. It's about the others.
We got the momentum behind us, though. I mean, they always say, the team get into the playoffs with momentum are the ones that always win, but they're always talking about them that come in, in the last playoff
minute
place.
into the
That's
playoffs.
the thing,
Yeah.
But we're
Rather
just
than-
flying
But
at
you
the
say
minute,
that,
aren't we,
Preston won the playoffs, didn't they? On the after we grabbed
Yeah,
promotion off
we
the
did,
last day of
yeah.
the season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's got to be the worst of the worst. That
I
has.
would have thought
And
so, thinking
Preston,
you were just going to go up
Preston
there
paid for
and
it.
walk it that day and end up that happened, And so to have the mental fortitude to come back from that and, go up via the playoffs is quite a thing. So,
yeah.
see, we're already writing our chances off now, aren't we?
Well, exactly. And I'm already looking at the possibilities of who we'll get in the playoffs. Anything from.
Where are Oxford? They're Oxford one
suppose.
place behind us.
Oxford 7 points behind us,
Yeah.
same amount of games. They're one worse off on the goal difference. I mean, that's the thing I was saying earlier when we had another technical issue, is that we're looking at 2015 as the benchmark when we were scoring for fun, which we
Yeah.
were. But we've actually got the third best goal difference, which fits in with our position in the league. Plus 25. We're going to plus 27. Rotherham are plus 41. And Rotherham have
Plus
only let in
41?
21 goals this
Jesus.
season. That's a goal every 1.5 games.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous, really, when you think about it. I mean, in fact, it's not even that. It's a goal almost every other game.
Every other game, just going to say that, eh?
Yeah, so we don't know, and it's always difficult to think. I do try and think back to like 6 weeks ago. What were we thinking 6 weeks ago? Where were we 6 weeks ago?
Just after
Were
Christmas.
we sixth? Were we seventh?
Yeah.
I think we were around that area.
We've
And
picked
we
a
weren't
good
even
time to
thinking
find a bit
about-
of form then, aren't we, to be quite honest?
Well, yeah, exactly. So is it? It can be maintained. There's just too many questions.
Don't be getting all negative again after you've...
Well, I can't help it. I just don't want. I can't think. There's too many things that can go wrong. We've said that one of the advantages that we've had this season is a lack of injuries.
Yeah.
9 games is a lot of games.
Tonight Watson
we
went
could lose
off last
2 or 3
night, didn't
players. Yeah, I mean that could be the start of a disastrous run of injuries. For
Well,
all I know.
in your world it could, Tony.
Yeah, exactly. In my parallel universe, we're going to lose 15 players to injury.
We'll end
for
up
some
playing a load of
mysterious
kids.
bug. Yeah, but no. As I've always said, fans are idiots. I'm feeling like one of those at the moment because I just don't sit well with success.
Right, I'm winding this up now because this has been a nightmare. I'm going to cut. See, now I'm feeding back. I can hear myself through this bloody thing now. Oh, this is not good, is it? Right, can we get Sam on next week, do you think, Tone?
I think we should be able to. We might even be able to get him on the old radio show
Oh, that'd
because
be
he's
good,
coming
wouldn't
on
it?
Saturday.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, actually, I'll text him now because I did mean to ask him yesterday. I don't know if he'll be able to
If he's
because
got the time, eh?
he's visiting his family. So
Ah, right, yeah. I'll try and get him on next week on this anyway, and hopefully, well, nobody's... the internet will work next week, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
Right, we'll wind this up now, and I'm going to start editing it, and hopefully I can get it out by tonight. So if you're listening to it tonight, well done to you. If you're listening to it tomorrow night, even better for you. Right,
Yeah.
we'll be back, obviously, next week. Hopefully the internet, like I say, will work. And don't forget to listen to us on the wireless, because we're brilliant on that, aren't we, Tom?
Oh, we're absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, good. If we can get a producer, that is, because we didn't have one the last time, did we?
Well, yes, but he was in the same position as us. He had to get from the stadium. So Sam's replied immediately.
Oh, right.
I'll just say immediately after the game on air at...
This is not working for people. I'll be honest, if you've managed to get to the end of this episode, you deserve
Yeah,
you
what
deserve
have you
to
been
go.
listening to? What have you been listening to?
Right, I'm stopping it now. We'll never know what Sam says unless you listen next week. Right, I'm saying bye now. Say bye, Tone.
Say bye, Tone.